Hey guys, Yo Raptor here with a new weekly show, the bold predictions for E3. Obviously, you see a ton of E3 predictions on this channel, but now I've asked Zach Sharps from T5R to come and join me to discuss some bold predictions we have for the biggest gaming convention. Hey Zach.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
You can of course check out Zach Sharp's channel in the description down below. I put a link there, and yeah, we also do some E3 stuff there, so you might want to check that out. Here we are focusing more on like the bold predictions we have for each press conference, and you made a very interesting one, Zach.
Yes, I did. It's not really probable at all, but that's what the bold predictions are all about. I'm not sure if you guys watch the NFL or whatever, but they do bold predictions all the time. That's sort of where I got the idea from. And a lot of times they'll announce, oh, so-and-so will break a record or whatever. And in this case, for video games, we can predict if certain games will be announced. And so I did a bold prediction that The Elder Scrolls 6 will be announced in a cinematic form. It won't have a release date, but it will at least be announced. Now, I don't know exactly where it will take place in terms of the world. I do really think that it will be announced, though, in some form, or at least this year there will be some sort of like rumblings like there was with the Fallout 4 stuff.
But don't you think that it was supposed to happen already? Because yeah, with Fallout 4 we already heard a ton of stuff about that. Or do you just think it will just be a surprise, and yeah, then we will not hear anything about it at E3 whatsoever?
I think that it will be announced at E3 because I think that what Bethesda probably learned is, sure, Fallout 4 did break the internet when they announced it at E3, but Bethesda was already sort of hinting at it because of the fact that they were doing a conference just in general. Like, everyone knew, okay, they wouldn't be doing a conference if it wasn't for Fallout 4. But with Elder Scrolls, it's really one of those things where they're like, okay, well, we're already doing a conference, but what if we drop a bombshell? And that would break the internet once again. Because I think that if they just hint at it throughout the week, I don't think that a lot of people would be super surprised about it as much as they would if they heard Elder Scrolls 6 will be announced like right then and there. I think the crowd would just go absolutely batshit insane.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And the internet would just be like, oh my fucking god, did you just see that? What just happened here? And it would just be a Fallout 4 moment, but tenfold, I think, because it would just be completely out of nowhere. So
yeah, that's totally true. I do think that they would eliminate the fact that they released obviously Fallout 4 in the same year as they announced the game. So yeah, and doing that with Elder Scrolls might benefit it as well. Of course, Elder Scrolls is a more well-known franchise. Skyrim sold way better than, for example, Fallout 3 or New Vegas.
Yep.
So yeah, I can see your point, but I think it's too early, to be honest. The team that worked on Fallout 4 is now just moving to the new Elder Scrolls project. They probably start writing now in pre-production or something like that. They will probably take their time. And you also noted that yeah, in the video we did about the Bethesda press conference predictions that yeah, they don't mind releasing a buggy game, but I think that the feedback they received on Fallout 4 will maybe finally make them think like, okay, we made like very yeah, next generation RPGs, and with Fallout 4 we are like, if you compare it to The Witcher 3, for example, we are like a little bit behind. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So I think they will, with Elder Scrolls 6, they will be more focused on bringing in a better experience. But I don't know if you agree.
I don't think that they'll care about that, honestly. I used to have hope for Bethesda until I took Fallout 4 to the knee, and that was mainly so bad. But anyhow, that was mainly because Fallout 4 isn't really an RPG. It's really just a shooter that has some RPG elements thrown in. where Fallout 3 and even New Vegas, that was more of an RPG where, you know, of course in Fallout 4 you have the levels, but you have a very cookie cutter, you know, skill system that is just really dumbed down beyond belief. You have a lot of weird systems in there that don't really act like Elder Scrolls games like maybe they did back in the Fallout 3 and New Vegas era, where, you know, in past games you would, instead of leveling up your lock picking by, you know, throwing in and getting a talent, you would instead just go out and do it and keep doing it and keep doing it, which is more of an RPG element than what they sort of replaced it with. And it's one of those things where I just don't really think that if they were looking at Fallout 4, I don't think they really care about, oh, looking at The Witcher 3. They know that they can't outperform The Witcher 3. It's just, it's one of those things where The Witcher 3 was such a well-produced and really quality title, and it's going to be remembered for, you know, years on end, where Skyrim, as much as it's a good game, it's still not really on the level in terms of story as The Witcher 3 is. Like, with Skyrim, I only have as many hours in it as I do because of the gameplay and exploring the world, where with The Witcher 3, I have as many hours in it as I do because of the story and the RPG elements. And sure, you can add RPG elements in with the modding capabilities of Skyrim, but I think everyone sort of agrees that if Skyrim didn't have the modding capabilities that it did, it wouldn't be as remembered as it is now. Because what's really sort of kept that community together is the modding capabilities. So I think with the Elder Scrolls 6, it will be one of those things where the element of the Elder Scrolls was sort of course, make people, everyone, you know, freak out and be like, oh my god, it's gonna be amazing. I think the game itself, though, it will have some new elements thrown in, but I don't think it's going to be anything groundbreaking. Maybe from a graphical perspective, though. I think that maybe they will, instead of, you know, doing it on the Fallout 4 engine, which was basically just a beefed up version of the Skyrim engine, they will have a new engine that is completely new and will look far better than the previous games. So I think that that will be sort of the thing that sort of sets it over the top and sort of makes everyone hyped for it, as well as the setting. But I don't really think that any mechanical system will make it really hyped up, other than maybe they will listen and finally put in a co-op mode where you can play with your friend instead of having like companion that's an AI. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
oh, come on.
They will totally kill that game if they do that. Don't you think?
No, I really don't, because I think that I'm really one of those people that I don't really think that Elder Scrolls Online has been as well received as they're saying it was. Because I mean, maybe the console version's alive, but every single time I've logged in the PC version, I don't see anybody playing it. Where I think that if they do a co-op mode with Elder Scrolls 6, it's one person tagging along with you, which would make total sense because you have companions all the time in Skyrim, so why not make it a player? I think that that would be a really cool thing, even if it's sort of like a just join my story type thing, but the other player doesn't really have input in the storyline. I think that even still, that would be a cool thing to announce.
I think that would totally be groundbreaking for the series, obviously. But I don't think that a lot of people are attached to the single player RPG feeling, and making a co-op game is totally different than making a single player Elder Scrolls game. It would be cool. I would totally love it because I'm more of a co-op multiplayer RPG guy than a single player RPG guy, but I don't know if that's the route, but that would be a cool new feature, or maybe not for everyone cool, but a new feature that they could totally push, but not at E3 2060. But I really, it would be awesome. Obviously it would break the internet, and it would totally, I mean, right now everyone thinks, okay, they're doing a new press conference, like we talked about in your video, they have some awesome stuff coming up, but it's nothing is compared to Fallout 4. So if they want to get this press conference at a bigger level, they might do something like this. I think it's a very interesting theory. Thanks for sharing, Zach. We will do more of these types of bold predictions for E3 2016 in the coming weeks. So check back every week, and obviously also check back the predictions for every press conference on T5R. Yeah, your channel, Zach.
Yep.
Thanks a lot for joining, and I'm also curious, let me know what you think in the comments. Will Elder Scrolls 6 be at E3 2016? I'm curious what you think. Subscribe to the channel for more E3 prediction videos. Like the video if you did, and I will speak to you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye.
Later.
Later.
Later.